So today we're going to look at a way to use the grid. The grid is a foam roller. I like the grid because it has all these different sort of surfaces that you work with. Some are more intense than others. It's also small, it's lightweight, it's easy to travel with, it's easy to store it in your house, and it's something that's very valuable to be used on a daily basis before your workout and after your workout. So let's just start. There's many ways to do this, and this is one way that I like to do it. Starting on the glute, sort of in the middle of the body. If you would like, you can cross one leg over, or you can leave your foot on the floor, depending on your flexibility and how you feel. And you're just going to basically move over the buttock here. It could be more lateral on the side of your hip, or more towards the center, more towards the top, more towards the bottom. Basically, this is myofascial release. So myo stands for muscle, fascial stands for fascia. And so we all know what muscles are. There's over 600 of them in the body. But we're trying to release any trigger points, and those are little sort of knots in the muscle or knots in the fascia that may build up. And it can be anywhere in your body. So from the glute, after doing this for about 30 seconds, if you find a trigger point or a place that is a little knot that's painful, you would kind of hold it, you would breathe, and just allow yourself to put some pressure in that trigger point, and then relax the limb that's involved. So in this case, your leg, you don't want to tense up, it might happen. You want to really kind of relax that area, breathe, take some oxygen in, and then once you've held that for about 30 seconds, then move on. Okay, so then from the glute, maybe move up just to the top of the pelvis here. So right where the pelvis ends, a lot of muscles come down and connect and attach to the pelvis here. So again, it could be more to the side or more to the back. So fascia covers everything in your body, every muscle, every bone, every organ. Ligament, tendon is covered with fascia from your toes right up to the top of your head. So let's roll up now, just under the arm. So just under the armpit, okay, where the big lat muscle comes up under the arm and attaches to the front of the shoulder. And this is usually tight and usually an area that's a little painful to work through, but if you do it often, you'll see you release a lot of these trigger points. So again, if you find a trigger point, you want to hold it, you want to relax the arm, the hand, so just look for signs of tension in that area, and then after holding that for a while, you can lean back a little bit here, you can move up into the back of the shoulder a little bit more. So the fascia that covers this is almost like, think of hose or netting, sort of like a pantyhose type of visual here, that covers everything in your body, bones, muscles, tendons, ligaments, organs, everything is wrapped in fascia. And if you get little pulls in the fascia, you almost have like little scarring there, little trigger points where the fascia closes up and tightens up in that area. Let's move down now, go onto the side of the thigh. So you can cross the top leg over, and we're using these limbs on the floor to control how much pressure goes down into the working area. So starting up at the hip, lean forward a little bit towards the front of your thigh, where you can stay more lateral on the side of your thigh, and you're going to roll down 2 inches towards the knee, back 1 inch towards the hip. So just roll down 2 inches, back up 1 inch. This is usually quite a painful area. A lot of trigger points in this area. So as I mentioned, if you get little adhesions or little pulls in the fascia, it tightens up in that area. So you could have little trigger points down in your leg, and it can be affecting your shoulder because the entire body is connected. So tightness through your hips, tightness through your calves, tightness in your feet can affect anything and everything all the way up through the shoulders, through the neck. So it's really important to not just focus on the area where you may or may not be in pain, or you may or may not feel pain, but to really kind of roll through, so to speak, the entire body. So rolling right down towards the knees, down a couple of inches, back up 1, again pausing anywhere where you might feel a trigger point. From there, I like to stay on the same leg, we've stayed on the same side of the body here, and work the calf. Now you might work either the side of the calf, mid-calf, or middle of the calf, wherever you feel you might need a little bit more attention. If you want to apply more pressure, you can take the top leg, the other leg, and put that on top. Okay, and again, just rolling down through the calf. There are other trigger point, and the company that sells, or that created the grid is called Trigger Point Therapy, I believe. But there's other trigger point pieces of equipment you can use, little balls, and other rollers that you can use, and they're all great. But I love the grid because you can really use it for most of the body from head to toe. So after working the calves, I like to stay on that same side and work the groin. So you would go face down, you could bend the working leg, we stayed on the right side here, to about 90 degrees, and you would start out towards the knee again, using your forearms and the other leg to control how much weight goes into that limb. And again, start to roll in towards the groin, just rolling in a couple of inches, rolling out, back out 1 inch, and just easing yourself. And this is really an important area to work on. And you might find when you go through these exercises, again, great to do before or after your workout, that one side is a little bit tighter than the other. And that asymmetry, in terms of trigger points, is really what can lead to a lot of problems, okay? A lot of issues up and down the chain. Just remember that you're constantly loading your body in terms of gravity, always pushing down on that body as you move in space throughout the day, whether you're active or sitting or just walking to work, whatever it may be. So after the groin, you would do that all on the other side. Okay, so let's just review on the other side now. So just switch, either crossing the leg over or not, starting at the glute. So there's always gravity affecting the body, and then there's ground reaction force, mass, and momentum. So every time you take a step and your foot strikes the ground, there's load that moves up through the body, from your ankle, through your knee, through your hip, through your spine, through your shoulder girdle, through your shoulder, through your neck, everything. And moving to the top of the pelvis, I'm just going to kind of go a little faster through this side. So gravity, mass, meaning the mass of your body, how much you weigh, momentum, how quickly you're moving, and ground reaction force every time your foot strikes the ground. So all those things, let's move up now under the arm again, reviewing, just under the arm, keeping that arm relaxed. All those things are going to affect your body. So if you have these trigger points through different areas of your body, maybe it's the groin or inner thigh on one side, the outer hip on the other, under the arm on one side, they're all going to affect how you move and how you dissipate those forces throughout your body. It's really important, and it's really something that a lot of athletes utilize. Again, now I'm going to go on to either the IT band, the outside of the leg, or a little bit more towards the front of the thigh. And again, moving down 2 inches, back up 1 inch. So it's really important to keep the fascia, okay, the fascia that covers your muscle and covers all your bones and organs, moving well over that muscle. It's not kind of stuck together. So doing these exercises create heat, okay, draw circulation to the area, help to work out those trigger points, draw hydration to the area. So drinking a lot of water is really important if you're experiencing any inflammation and pain. And then again, we move to the calf. You want to drink a lot of water and perform the foam roller. If you are in any kind of sort of pain crisis, you would obviously seek medical attention, but foam roller, or doing some kind of foam roller exercises regularly, I mean a few times a day, is something that is great to do. And people have had great success in terms of recovering and or reducing pain or inflammation in different joints of the body. It really helps to alleviate. Now from there, let me see, we've done the calf. I think we go now to the inside of the leg. So we bend 90 degrees, face down, start at the knee, start to roll in. So just remember that if you have any kind of injury, or chronic sort of injury, that a lot of times your body was constantly compensating, and therefore certain muscles, certain areas of the body tighten up, and that's where you might develop these trigger points or little pulls through the fascial chain. Okay, so after the groin, just one more here that I would include, and there's many more that you can do, but this is sort of the routine I like to do. It's just laying back now with the grid, just at the bottom of your shoulder blades, fingertips behind your ears, and then lift your hips off the floor, and now you would roll up towards the top of your shoulder blades, and then back down. Okay, so we're sort of rolling through the muscle between your shoulder blades, your rhomboids, your mid-traps. Is a great way to release the tension through the upper back, okay, which can typically become quite tense from sitting a lot if you sit at a computer all day long. So a great way to sort of end your
foam roller or grid.
Rolling type little workout, okay? So that could take you, once you kind of get the routine down, that could take you 3 to 5 minutes every morning. Don't feel like you have to spend too long in each area. Do what you can do, but do it often, and I think that's where the main benefit is going to be for you. So, great way to use the grid.